So today we're going to go over the basic install instructions for the garage bar itself. Now this is not a complicated process. If you want to crack a cold one, not a bad idea. First thing I did, obviously, you got to establish your space, your spot you're wanting to put this thing. It's going to sit there on the wall when it's not in use and look good. So obviously establishing some sort of area. I've kind of set up my garage for the ability to watch games here. Not a bad idea. So I have set aside this area as my garage domain. Something I did first, I put a couple pieces of tape just to kind of give me a rough eye reference so I could stand back, gauge where I'm looking here. Couple key tools or items to go grab. I grabbed a tape measure, any sort of drill. It does help if you have the extender 6-incher. That's what she said. Stud finder is a bonus if you're going to go into studs. That's what I've done. But I do include brackets if you're just going to go into drywall. Your process will shift slightly, and a drill bit for like pilot holes, if you will. I've got one bracket installed. I'll walk you through the other one and the final touch-ups on getting the bar all set up. So first thing you're going to want to do, and a pencil. We need a pencil to mark studs. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is think about height on your bar. Now I have this electric socket here, so I kind of decided I'd have the bar hide that just for a better visualization. So I made the top of my bracket 50.5 inches roughly. That's going to be my mark. A lot of bars fall between 40 and 48 inches, depending on how high you want them. Next, I use my stud finder to kind of give me a center line as far as where the stud is located on the other side of this wall. Go ahead and make a little mark there. Now, an important step here, the bar, the core garage bar is 48 inches, so you know bracket to bracket has to be inside that. So my bracket to bracket distance here, for example, is going to be 32. Another key aspect to bracket installation is getting my top of bracket the same height as this one, so that's why I took that measurement over there. So I'll go ahead and mark on this wall my spot of where I want the top of that bracket to be, so it's level. Looks good there. I got the center of my stud line in my holes, and what I will do now is just leave little marks so I can see those, and I'll come back in and drill a small pilot hole next for my bracket. Now I'll run pilot holes for all 3 of my spots. You're going straight into drywall and not going screws. You go ahead and make your hole slightly bigger and tap these in with either a hammer or a mallet of some sort to get your anchors in the wall. Obviously, the next big add here is if you have a 6-inch drill adapter. Some of the screws you don't need it. Otherwise, maybe grab a screwdriver as well to help with install. So the top one, I did put the screw in there before. There is a hole here that you can use to get that guy in place. Repeat the process for the other 2. Okay, we got the 2 brackets hung. I find it easiest to install the bar next. I like to, before getting the bar on the wall, install the light strip. Obviously I do this on the like 1/2 inch off the front of the bar just to give it that look. Now the lights that I send you, you can configure however you means necessary. This is just a step I do at this point when I can get the bar flat and go ahead and...
Another note here I have on the lights is letting that board lay flat with both the power bank and the lights on it for a few hours. Let that adhesive really sink into the backside.
Use the double-sided adhesive to push that down and just use gravity with me. The lights, obviously you can cut to size. There are spacers every 4 to 6 inches as to where to cut. They are labeled as to a cutting spot. So be sure to follow those instructions when you cut this to your custom top and how you configure your lights. All right, let's get this guy on the wall at this point. You want to slide it almost to the back. Maybe leave just like a 1/4 inch of wiggle off the back. Now what I like to do now is kind of square it up on the hinges. So I know here I've got about 6.5 inches of hangover. This side's a little more, so I'm gonna bump it just a touch. Okay, that looks good there. Go just a touch more. You can eyeball this step. It's not super necessary. Now, you're gonna take your small screws, and on the bottom side of the hinges, you're gonna come through and attach to the board to the hinges itself. Okay. Two final items to install are the bottle opener and the magnet bracket. The bottle opener, some guys like to put it here in the middle just because that's the central point. I've got mine here on the right side. And the magnet strip I've got over here on the left, that's going to be where my Bluetooth speaker can go, or my koozies. That's a big one. So in your kit, there comes with some adhesive magnets. I put one here on the inside of like your classic flappy koozie. But my thought is, store that on the bar. Every time I kick this thing out, I've got a koozie ready to go. You can put two of them down there. Pretty slick little storage system, because when this thing folds flat, it's still got that koozie on the backside, but yet you can't see it here.